obese woman entered a gym and everyone laughed at her appearance until she decided to take out her phone and do this. Mariana observed the glass building of Elite Fitness from across the street. It was the third time that week she had come this far, only to turn back at the last minute. Her 304 pounds seemed even heavier as she contemplated what might happen if she crossed that threshold. Inside the gym, perfect bodies moved like well-oiled machines, visible even from a distance. Her doctor had been emphatic during her last appointment. Either you change your lifestyle or I can't guarantee you'll be here next year. The words echoed in her mind like a sentence. Hypertension, prediabetes, joint problems. The list of complications only grew with each visit. The night before, Mariana had watched dozens of inspiring body transformation videos. People as large as her, some even larger, who had managed to completely change. If they could do it, maybe she could too. A group of women in impeccable workout clothes passed by her, casting sidelong glances. Mariana pulled her gray sweatshirt down, trying to cover more of the body she so detested. The sweatpants she wore, size 26, uncomfortably squeezed her waist. Her phone vibrated. A message from her sister. "Did you go in yet? Remember what we talked about? One day at a time." Her sister was the only one who knew about her plan. No one else would believe that Mariana, who had spent her entire life hating exercise and seeking comfort in food, was actually considering entering a gym. She herself didn't fully believe it. Taking a deep breath, Mariana squeezed the bear-shaped keychain in her pocket, a gift from her niece. "For good luck," the girl had said. With heavy steps, she crossed the street. The automatic door of Elite Fitness opened, as if inviting her into a new world. The cold air conditioning hit her face, bringing with it the characteristic gym smell, a mixture of disinfectant, rubber, and sweat. Electronic music pulsed through the speakers. At the reception desk, a thin young woman with a perfect ponytail and flawless makeup looked her up and down. "Can I help you?" "I would like to sign up," said Mariana, her voice almost a whisper. The receptionist raised a perfectly lined eyebrow. "Are you sure? We have different plans, including Pilates and yoga classes for beginners." Her tone suggested that Mariana needed something even more basic. "I want the complete plan," Mariana replied, surprising herself with the firmness in her voice. While filling out the forms, she felt curious glances from the staff. Her hands were sweating so much that the paper was beginning to wrinkle at the edges. She had memorized her shameful measurements for this moment. Weight, 304 pounds. Height, 5'5", waist circumference, 52 inches. The manager approached, a middle-aged man with defined muscles. "First time in a gym?" he asked in a tone that seemed genuinely interested. Mariana nodded, unable to find words. "Welcome to Elite Fitness. May I show you the facilities?" With her heart pounding against her chest, Mariana followed the manager toward the main gym area. Little did she know that what would happen in the next few minutes would change the course of her life forever, and that the scene everyone would talk about for months was about to unfold. As she passed through the door separating the reception from the main area, Mariana felt as if she were entering a completely different world. Mirrors covered every wall, infinitely multiplying the image she so avoided. Dozens of people were exercising in different sections: weight training, cardio, functional area. They all looked like they had stepped out of fitness magazines. The manager, Paolo, walked quickly in front of her, pointing to equipment with excessive enthusiasm. "Here we have the free weight area. There are the treadmills and stationary bikes, and in the back, the group classrooms." The words went in one ear and out the other as Mariana struggled to keep up with his pace. In each area they passed, people interrupted their exercises to observe her. Some pretended not to, others didn't even try. Mariana could feel waves of judgment radiating from those looks. Her 304-pound body seemed to expand under the scrutiny, taking up too much space in an environment clearly designed for smaller bodies. "And this is where we do physical assessments," Paolo continued, stopping in front of a room with a scale and measuring equipment. "All new members go through a complete assessment to establish realistic goals." Mariana swallowed hard. The idea of being weighed and measured by a stranger made her stomach turn. "Is that necessary?" "Absolutely," Paolo replied. "We want to ensure you get results. We'll schedule you with Carla, our specialist for special cases." special cases. The words hung in the air like a sentence. Mariana knew exactly what it meant. People like her, too big, too awkward, too desperate. As they returned to the main area, Mariana noticed a group of men in the weight section watching her with barely contained smiles. One of them, muscular and tanned, leaned over to whisper something to his friend. Both laughed, looking in her direction without disguising it. Paolo seemed to notice too. "Don't worry about them," he said quietly. "Some members forget that we all start somewhere." Mariana nodded, though her face burned with shame. She had been naive to believe she could simply walk into a gym and blend in. Her body betrayed her, announcing her presence like a walking billboard. "Let's check out the cardiovascular equipment," Paolo suggested, guiding her to the area with treadmills and bikes. A thin woman in a hot pink workout set stepped down from a treadmill as they approached. She wiped non-existent sweat with a small white towel and cast a sidelong glance at Mariana. "All yours," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Want to try it?" Paolo asked. Mariana hesitated. The treadmill seemed too narrow for her wide body. What if she broke the equipment? It was a constant concern for people her size. Plastic chairs, bus seats, and now exercise machines. "Maybe the bike?" she suggested quietly. Paolo nodded and led her to a stationary bike. Mariana cautiously tested the seat before sitting down. The seat sank under her weight, but held. Small victories. "I'll let you try it out a bit," said Paolo. "I'll be back in 5 minutes to show you the rest of the facilities." Alone, Mariana began pedaling slowly. The digital panel lit up, requesting information. Weight, height, age, fitness level. Mariana filled in the fields, feeling exposed with each number she entered. While pedaling, she noticed strange movement near the weight area. More people had gathered with the initial group. Some discreetly pointed in her direction, others not so discreetly. One of the guys was holding his phone suspiciously, as if recording or taking photos. Mariana felt a wave of nausea. It was like being back in high school when bullies chased her during breaks. 15 years later, and nothing had changed. Her body was still a subject of derision, her existence still reduced to a joke. She slowed down, ready to give up. That's when she noticed a woman watching her from the stretching area. Unlike the others, her gaze contained no judgment. There was something else there. Interest, perhaps? Curiosity? The woman, athletic and middle-aged, smiled briefly before returning to her routine. That small gesture, so insignificant to most, lit a spark inside Mariana. Not everyone was against her. Perhaps there was room for someone like her in this world of perfect bodies. Paolo returned, interrupting her thoughts. "So, how did it feel?" "Good," Mariana lied. "I think I can do this." "Great! Let's check out the locker rooms and finalize your registration." As they walked toward the locker rooms, Mariana felt a growing determination. It wouldn't be easy, she knew that. But maybe, just maybe, it was worth facing the stares and laughter. At least for one more day. The women's locker room at Elite Fitness momentarily fell silent when Mariana entered. Curious glances assessed her before the women returned to their conversations, now in lower voices. "Your assessment with Carla is scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m., Paolo informed her. "Come after 4 hours of fasting and in comfortable clothes." On her way out, Mariana passed the group of guys from the weight section. "I bet 50 she doesn't come back tomorrow," one of them said, not bothering to lower his voice. "I bet 100 she never comes back," another replied. Only when she reached her car did Mariana allow herself to cry. She sobbed with her face on the steering wheel, releasing all the accumulated shame. Her phone rang. It was her sister Denise. "How did it go?" "It was difficult," Mariana admitted. "There was a group of guys laughing. I think they were filming me." "Remember when you helped me through my divorce?" asked Denise. "You told me the only way out of the bottom of the pit is to keep climbing, even when it seems impossible." "It seems impossible. One day at a time. You have an assessment tomorrow. Just go." That night, Mariana alternated between moments of determination and complete despair. Around 5 in the morning, tired of tossing in bed, she got up. She looked at herself in the mirror, something she rarely did. Her face was swollen from tears, lifeless hair framing features she had long since stopped admiring. The 304-pound body was a burden she had carried for years. One day at a time, she whispered to her reflection. At 9:45 a.m., Mariana parked again in front of the gym. She wore black leggings and a loose t-shirt, the only workout clothes she had in her size. The same group of guys was arriving. When they noticed her, there was a moment of evident surprise. She could read their thoughts. She actually came back. With shoulders raised and eyes fixed ahead, Mariana walked toward the entrance. Her determination had created an invisible shield around her. At the reception, the same attendant greeted her with barely disguised surprise. "You have an assessment today, right?" "Yes, with Carla." The assessment room was small, equipped with a professional scale and other instruments. Carla, a woman of approximately 40 years with graying hair and an athletic body, stood up to greet her. "To be honest," Mariana began, "I'm not sure if I'll continue beyond today." Carla nodded. "Understandable. Gyms can be intimidating environments for beginners." She paused, studying Mariana. "I saw that you came back. That already says a lot about who you are. Few would have that courage after what happened yesterday." The assessment began. Each number was a painful reminder of the road ahead. Weight, 304 pounds. Body fat percentage, 52%. Waist circumference, 52 inches. The endurance test was humiliating. Mariana could barely complete 2 minutes on the treadmill at the lowest speed. Her legs trembled, her face red as a tomato. When she finished, she expected to see disappointment on Carla's face. Instead, she saw determination. "Now we have our baseline," said the trainer. "We can only improve from here." 2 weeks had passed since the initial assessment. Mariana followed the basic program that Carla had designed. 30 minutes of walking on the treadmill, light resistance exercises, stretching. Her body protested with each session. Muscles that had never been used screamed in pain. But she kept coming back day after day. In the 3rd week, Carla increased the intensity. "Ready for something more challenging?" she asked, as Mariana completed her set of modified crunches. "I don't know," Mariana replied, breathless. "I can barely do what we're already doing." "You underestimate yourself," said Carla. "Let's try something new today." Carla took her to the central area of the gym, an open space used for functional exercises. It was peak hour. The place was packed. Mariana felt her heart race with anxiety. Until that moment, she had managed to stay in less crowded areas. "We're going to do a circuit," Carla explained. "Jumping jacks, squats, modified push-ups, and plank." Mariana swallowed hard. "Here? Now?" "Exactly here. Exactly now." Taking a deep breath, Mariana began the circuit. Her jumping jacks were awkward, her squats limited, her push-ups done with knees on the floor. Each movement made her 304-pound body sway in ways she considered shameful. It was during the plank that it happened. Her arms trembled with the effort of maintaining the position. Sweat dripped down her red face. Suddenly, she heard loud laughter coming from a nearby group. "Look at that! She looks like a beached whale," said a male voice, followed by more laughter. "Be careful, the floor is going to give way," added another. Mariana tried to ignore them, focusing on Carla's counting, but then she heard the unmistakable sound of a cell phone taking pictures. "This is going on Instagram," someone announced. "Hashtag Hippo Day." The laughter increased. Other clients began to look, some with discomfort, others with barely contained smiles. Mariana felt her face burn with shame. Carla noticed what was happening and positioned herself between Mariana and the group, but the damage was already done. Mariana collapsed on the floor, unable to maintain the position. Tears blurred her vision. She wanted to disappear, crawl away from there, never come back. She had been so stupid to believe she could do this. The leader of the group, the same guy she had seen on the first day, approached with his phone in hand, still laughing. "Hey, fatty, smile! You're going to be famous." Something inside Mariana broke at that moment. It wasn't just shame or humiliation. It was a fury she had never felt before. With a surprisingly agile movement for someone her size, she stood up. "What is your problem?" she asked, her voice firmer than it had ever been. The guy seemed momentarily surprised by the confrontation. "We're just having a little fun." "At my expense," Mariana replied. "What kind of person does that? What kind of man are you?" The entire gym seemed to have stopped to watch. The silence was deafening. Look, continued Mariana, her voice trembling slightly, but still firm, I know I'm fat. I know I look ridiculous doing these exercises, but at least I'm trying to change. What are you doing to improve who you are? The guy was left speechless, the smile disappearing from his face. His friends looked at their feet, visibly uncomfortable. Mariana turned to Carla, certain that she would flee from there as soon as possible, never to return. But something in the trainer's admiring gaze made her pause. Shall we finish the circuit? Carla asked calmly. For a moment, Mariana hesitated. Then, to her own surprise, she nodded. Let's finish. And there, in front of everyone, Mariana completed the entire circuit. Her movements were awkward, her body trembled, but in her eyes there was something new, fierce determination that silenced the entire gym. In the weeks following that confrontation, something changed within Elite Fitness. The video of Mariana's confrontation, ironically, ended up going viral, but not as her bullies had planned. The internet mobilized in support of her, transforming her into a symbol of courage and resilience. Paolo, the manager, implemented a strict zero-tolerance policy against intimidation. The group of guys was formally warned, and the leader, after pressure from other members, ended up approaching Mariana with an embarrassed apology. But most important was what happened to Mariana. 6 months later, she had lost 62 pounds. It wasn't a miraculous transformation like in the videos she had watched, but it was real, consistent, and healthy. Her blood pressure normalized, and the doctor, surprised, reduced her medications. Carla invited her to share her story in a talk for new members. I'm not an athlete, and I never will be, Mariana told a packed room. But I learned that being strong isn't about how much you weigh or what you look like. It's about getting up every day and trying again. By the end of a year, Mariana had not only transformed her body, but also her life. And when a new client, as hesitant as she had been, crossed the doors of Elite Fitness, it was Mariana who approached with a welcoming smile. The first day is always the hardest, she said, extending her hand, but I promise it's worth it.